There is a triangle in my life, mother, father, and Bhagwan, and I have learned so much from them. And my life circle comes to an close.
For centuries, society has forced women into rigid boxes, good or bad. History remembers them for singular moments. But what about the complexities that shape their choices? One such woman is Ma Anand Sheela. The world knows her as Osho's controversial secretary, labeled a cult leader's accomplice. But who is the woman behind the media headlines? In Basel, where she now leads a community dedicated to serving humanity, she provides care and dignity to the vulnerable. I'm here to explore the driving forces behind Sheela, a woman whose actions speak louder than any label, who is determined to live life by her own rules.
My parents, my mother, my father, are the biggest present in my life. The practical understanding of life comes from my mother, and intellectual part comes from my father. All the positivity you see in me comes from these two beautiful people. They were very much in love with one another. My mother, the mold that I am from, it was my father who was a determined man. And he had given us children totally different values than normal families. I feel my father was ahead of his game. His understanding of value of freedom. With this one word, freedom, he gives the complete picture of how one can live life of responsibility. When you take responsibility, you can be free. And if you are free, then there are no limits. Few people who surrounded Gandhi, my father was one of his trusted lieutenant. Gandhi had sent him together with Kamal Nayan Bajaj. Kamal Nayan and my father went together to learn from England certain things that Gandhi wanted their lieutenants learn.
So your father was part of the Satyagraha movement?
Absolutely. So freedom in our family was a big thing.
Born in Baroda, Gujarat in 1949, Sheela's early life was shaped by her parents' forward thinking. They encouraged all their 6 children to explore the world. At just 17, Sheela left India, crossing oceans to pursue her studies in America.
I wanted to be a painter and a potter.
And life made you a secretary of Bhagwan.
Exactly. Harding, I met him through my older brother. He was a well-known artist in Michigan. So we were visiting. At that time, I was a fine arts student. So I had taken slides of my pottery to show him. So he looked at it, he liked it, he complimented me and gave me apprenticeship. Before semester, my mother gets problem with her eyes. So I fly from New Jersey to my mother, and I wanted to support her.
After visiting her mother in the hospital, Sheela and her father traveled to Bombay, where they happened to be near Bhagwan's home. They visited him and attended one of his talks, a meeting that would deeply change Sheela's life. She was just in her early 20s at the time.
When I went to visit him with my father, I look at this man sitting on the chair. I say, oh my God, what a beautiful person. And I automatically fell into his feet, put my head in his lap. That was a very restful place. I forgot about the apprenticeship. I was in love with him. I chose him. Love cannot be defined. Love doesn't have boundaries. It takes over your person. You feel you're drowning, but at the same time, you're coming up. There is no other feeling like that. He's a self-made guru.
He was just human. With flaws.
He's very human. And I'm the only one who says with conviction. And it doesn't upset me. For me, it would be a shame if he wasn't human. A dream project of Bhagwan was creating a community with same goal to raise the energy of the humans. People ask me often about how did you build the city? It is not me who built the city. It is the love I felt for Bhagwan that understood his dream, what had to be created. The work I did, it was my choice, where Bhagwan didn't have to ask me, will you do it? I was always there when something had to be done. And of course, when he says, Sheela, we are going to do this and this. Sheela says yes. And he was so confident of me that sometimes my secretaries would get annoyed. If I'm traveling and he wants something, light bulb goes, he will call my secretary, she will organize to repair, and say, no, wait till Sheela comes.
Bhagwan's sannyasin community made the move from the vibrant Pune ashram in India in 1981 to the barren lands of Oregon, USA. The locals of Antelope were far from welcoming, meeting the newcomers with suspicion and hostility.
Republicans are fundamental Christians. They want to rule. They have no qualms about taking others' rights away. They were threatened that two people from nothing in short time create a community like that. And when they see somebody comes with the material power, they are not very friendly, unless the material goes in their pockets. We went there. I was madly in love with Bhagwan, found this land. And it was not just me who was madly in love, all his other followers too. And then this Republican Party morons, with their fear-mongering, started harassing. When we would require permits or so, they would not give. Then we incorporated our own city, that they had never thought of it. Everything was against me in that sense. I was an Indian born, I was a woman, fearless woman. So all these characters go against me for them. And then on top of it, I have a religious guru with me. And somehow they saw the power of Bhagwan, and they did not want to do anything to him. I was an easier catch, but it's all.
Despite this tension, Rajneeshpuram began to take shape, a city built from the ground up. It blossomed, attracting thousands from around the world to its festivals and gatherings. Outwardly, a picture of success, but behind closed doors, the reality was far more complex. Bhagwan's insatiable appetite for Rolls-Royce cars, expensive diamond watches, and a lavish lifestyle placed an unsustainable financial burden on the community. To fuel this need, he began to commercialize enlightenment, effectively selling it to his wealthy followers. This shift in focus created a distance between Bhagwan and Sheela. To complicate the matter further, she confronted him with his drugs use. Bhagwan began to rely on drugs supplied by wealthy Hollywood people who had privileged access. The drugs took their toll, changing his mind. The man Sheela knew was slipping away.
I was the only one who could ask him if something I didn't understand again to him, or say, Bhagwan, please explain, I don't understand. That kind of relationship only I had with him. When I confronted him about his drug use, he was already addicted then to Valiums, laughing gas, and who knows what. He did not want to speak about it. He simply said, Sheela, you ignore. I battled with myself for 6 months approximately afterwards. I tried to ignore, but I could not. It crossed my personal integrity. And then I said, if I cannot help him, then it's time for me to go. And I left gracefully. What came afterwards was an onslaught of negativity dumped on me. Assertion from Bhagwan, his people. When I left, I didn't think much at all. I just left. It was time for me to go. And I was very clear in me, whatever comes, I have to face it. I face it gracefully, as Baba Puji has taught me. I had returned his gifts of love back because I felt they were like a crown jewels, and I didn't take anything. Nothing. He didn't want me to go. His comfort depended on me. His work depended on me. He said many nasty things to me, and I didn't take it personally, because to me it doesn't matter. He has also said so many things in love. I left and I come to Germany. Stern magazine had bought my story. They had isolated me until their story was prepared. When I come back from the isolation, 3 days later, there was a FBI, and I was arrested.
It helped you to transform yourself in the human being that we now see?
Before transformation, I slept 10 months in a cocoon position because the whole world was negative towards me. Propaganda against me were so massive from Bhagwan's side, from government side. I totally had no idea where life is taking me or what's going to happen. And about 9-10 months, I was sleeping 17 hours. And there too, it was a law, US prison law, that until person is charged with the crimes and given a punishment, they cannot ask me to do anything, to go to work or clean up this or whatever their systems are. So I was able to sleep, and I must have needed that sleep because for years I was just working. It was self-protection. I had looked for my mother's womb to hide, and I was like a cocoon. These are the original old books that somebody gave me in prison as a present because I got him. I performed a marriage for him.
Ah.
Yeah. And that was
His gift.
His gift to me. In prison, you understand, all prisoners talk about how much time they have. Before, one didn't have time, and now all I have is time. I had a lot of thoughts about how and where and what, but they were useless questions. In this thought process, then I had started holding myself in a way without being demoralized. I was very much in tune with my intuition. So when a feeling came or a thought came to me of anything, I did not ignore it. So this gave certain alertness to me. And I was very keen not to provoke anybody because it can be dangerous. So I was conscious of my safety. And freedom is the biggest power that one has.
But then there's a moment that comes and that actually your inner courage again blossoms.
I painted the entire unit with one brush, one roller, and without sticks or anything, because they don't give you. They just give you paint, they give you roller with hand, so you can't commit suicide. But I managed it. I printed it, which gave me 15 extra days, which put me on a 30-day Christmas kick out. And a few days back was my Freedom Day, 13th of December. So it was a good situation. I got sentenced and I did my prison time. I came out of it. I saw my parents. And then I felt that I want to do something to heal their wound. My imprisonment created a bigger wounds in my parents. That's when I created the first home and then expanded to second.
And do you believe that their wounds have been healed?
I did everything to heal, and I'm sure they are healed. When you take care of a wound, it heals. And they were very proud of me. Once I was out of prison, having parents was a big celebration. More was not needed. This picture is very precious. After prison, my parents came to visit me from India, and we were walking on Liechtenstein Alley. Winter flowers were already coming up, and that was so euphoric. I didn't want them to see that I have been affected by prison. I had nice haircut at that time in fashion. I had my fashionable sunglasses.
But your parents must have sensed that you were affected. I mean, they were quite... No?
They suffered while I was in prison. Now is the time to celebrate joy. My parents did not care what society. They had more trust in me or children than what others can say.
Many people have asked you about if you regret something, but did they ask the same question to Bhagwan? Did he regret?
I don't know if anybody asked. I have heard him say, and I have a transcript of it somewhere, where Bhagwan said, Sheela can never do anything wrong to me. I just know because I was in prison at that time, and somebody had sent me the transcript of it. I took it just as when he went against me angry, I took that anger the same way, and I took his praise, I call it a praise, the same way. Here, I want to show you this sculpture. It is broken here. This is my name, Ma Anand Sheela. Sheela was my given name. Ma Anand from Bhagwan. And it is 2/3 and 1/3 my life now. My personal Independence Day, 13th September. Ashram means community. Om is universal. Then here it says, only love will find a way. And that is my statement. When I was out of prison, my parents were aging. I wanted to take care of them. It was so sacred, that feeling of wanting to take care of it. Every old person I would see when I go out shopping or walk or whatever, you see old people. I saw my parents in them. I have to create a home that I would be satisfied for my parents. And that was taking care of people in love. These two homes were creation of love for my father, mother. Same as Rajneeshpuram was created for love for Bhagwan.
I noticed that everything here in the house is integrated.
Exactly, because to motivate them, the exercises go easy when there's somebody talking while they are doing bicycle, or the music going when they're doing their exercise, then time goes fast. And then it's not boring.
So when you built this home, what was your initial thought?
How can I offer them a home? What parents had given us, it must be given further. I began as a single person, hired more people as the business was moving forward.
She treats everybody like everybody, whoever comes here and whoever lives here, they are all treated like they are in the mother's home. So she has really taken the meaning of Matrusaden.
I have always loved caring for people. And to a point where if I lose something, it's okay with me, but care must be given.
Fertig.
Du musst
Will nur ins
herkommen.
Bett.
Ja, ich will helfen dir korrekt im Bett machen. I was taking care of 5 old women. And then one day, clinic called me and said, can you take a young person? I said, wow, what an opportunity. And every young person has to understand that there will be a process coming where they will become old. So this is both ways. The old remembers their youth and young remembers their future. And it works out very good. We respect everyone. We see everyone at eye level. We are not bigger and better than them. And they are not less than us, mentally ill people. They suffer from not having enough love and attention. When you give them attention, they feel they are somebody. And they are. They are beautiful souls. If you take care of them, if you help them with it, their trust will increase. And this trust that makes them relaxed. They know when they need, Sheela is there. We focus on basic pleasures of human, which is singing, dancing, painting, and then we fill up the rest of the day with sport. So these normal activities are much more worth it for them. And we take time with our people. And their interests are small, but very valuable. I feel very good about my people. Yeah. All activity happens on the ground floor. This way, we also see how their moods are moving. And here, we all live together. So they see me working, they see other people working, and we try to get them to move. The first doctor who trusted me when I began work here, he had given me a woman who flies, does her thing, and so.
Always on the move? Moving mountains?
Moving mountains, sometimes moving people.
Vielen Dank, Sheela.
Yeah. Schlaf good, huh? You create a community not to gain something, but to offer something. The moment you offer, it changes the complete idea. I remember my daughter's wedding. I gave her a wedding present. I wrote a little book for her called My Treasure. What all I feel and I have learned, I have written in most simple languages that even an idiot can read it. And I tell her, in life, have a position of a giver, not a beggar. And if you watch the movement, you know, when you are a giver, it brings certain joy, it brings certain dignity with it, and your heart is light. I find it so remarkable that what does a modern man want? Let's say they all want to be spiritual and they are given freedom for their spirituality. But after a few days, they're going to be bored to death. Spirituality is not going to alone feed them or take care of their intellect or their desires. If they resell it, they might get some money, and they can take care of few small desires. And then what? Again, you start the same vicious cycle. So I personally don't want to fall into that. I don't mind working. I, in fact, enjoy working. It keeps me creative. And I'm not a burden on anyone. If I have to sit around and do nothing, my God, that's unthinkable for me. One would think I'm spiritual, but I'm not.
What was this act then?
I was just being near Bhagwan.
Was it an act of surrender?
No, I was just there. I didn't go because I want to learn meditation. I didn't go because I wanted to be spiritual. I fell in love with him. If somebody declares somebody spiritual or enlightened, I don't have to buy it. And I didn't buy it. I always said and felt he's a beautiful man. For me, it is a pseudo to make myself bigger and better than others. No, I'm same as everyone else. And this keeps me grounded. Somebody starts meditation, and 3 days later they see colors in their eyes, or they have sort of a dream about whatever. So we humans are so ready to dilute ourselves with fantasies. The people who buy think they have gotten a product, but people who are selling it, they are very aware. It is a product, brings money, but you don't have to give proof of it. I didn't fall in love with him because people called him enlightened.
So he never called himself enlightened?
Even if he called himself enlightened, that was his issue, not mine.
You're not spiritual. You don't have anything to do with spirituality. Meditation is boring. But what's the point being with him then? Because that was his work.
Work is fun. I do work here too. I could see him daily basis. I could sit near him daily basis.
But there must be more than that. I mean,
More, I didn't need it.
to sit with him, you had to work so hard every day.
I would do even more work.
But that was work you did for his work. His work was meditation.
Meditation was a technique. Work around him, his books, what directly related to him. They belong to life, and life must understand. So if I'm so close to him, I have to understand what's in these books. Because we listen to him in the morning, we work in the...
Yeah, it automatically becomes part of you.
It becomes part of you. I had learned from parents and Bhagwan, death is the highest point in life, and one need not have fear. Everyone is going to die. There are no exceptions. Every elderly person was young at one time. And transition from young to old is difficult for psychology of the person. We take care of these old people. Some of them are on their deathbed also. And we don't taboo death in this house. We talk about it freely. We remind each other that day comes, we all have to go one day. It is not a lie. It is a reality. And this reality we must face. There are no exceptions in the world. Then what is there to fear? The youth of India is calling me, and I don't want to ignore them.
Do you know why they are calling you?
They want to hear me speak. They want to know where my power comes. They want to have fun with me, with some encouragement for their life.
But why you?
Because I'm rude at times.
Are you?
At times, I purposely try to be rude.
Purposely.
Yeah, to motivate somebody. You see a person with potential, but they're fearful. They don't move forward. Maybe they want someone who has done it with Bhagwan.
You mean incorporated his wisdom in life?
Right. They want to hear how would be my solution. And my solution is simple. Get down on your knees and do it. Do what you have to do.
Say yes.
Say yes.
But are they more curious about you as a person, or are they more curious about your connection with Osho?
I think you cannot separate it. It's a complete package. Me, Bhagwan, my life, our life. How will you separate it? Where will you separate it?
How does that feel to have so many people who are inspired by your story?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Then I think what I have learned from my mother, father, and Bhagwan has gone further.